At 5:46 on this Friday, we're opening the books. Today, we're talking about how much cities in our community are spending on their credit cards. And for more, as we check in with her each and every Friday, Rachel O'Brien from OpenTheBooks.com joining us now with more of what she's learned. So I guess the first question, Rachel, would be what's the breakdown of how much each city is spending when it comes to their credit cards?
Yeah, so we looked at Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson. We got credit card records for them, and combined, they were $12.5 million. Las Vegas spent the most. They spent $6.9 million, and this is for 2022 credit card and P card spending. So 6.9 Las Vegas. Henderson and North Las Vegas were very close together. They were $2.9, $2.8 million. And it's important to note that this is just credit card spending. These are credit cards or P cards. It's not any other spending. So it's just one piece of the spending puzzle to keep in mind.
Okay, that is interesting. One piece of the total puzzle that we're looking at here. So in going back to now that we know kind of what the spending is looking like, what are some of the items that we're seeing? I guess some of the biggest spending items.
Right. So now, of course, these cities are all spending on office supplies, materials, meals, and many other things. But the biggest spending items that we saw were in Henderson. Their records show that of the $2.9 million, they spent $200,000 on airfare to dozens of cities for conferences and other events. And they also spent $184,000 on hotels in those cities. Henderson also spent $60,000 on Facebook ads. Now, before I go any further, before it sounds like I'm beating up on Henderson, I'll note that the City of Henderson consistently sends us copies of public records quickly and with details about spending. They're being transparent about what they're spending money on. Now, North Las Vegas records, those were less detailed. They had $2.8 million in spending, but they had vague categories for what they spent things on, like supplies or even miscellaneous. But we were able to see that they spent $43,000 on hotels and more than $18,000 on airfare. They also spent $70,000 on car rentals from like places like Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Avis, Alamo, Budget Rent-A-Car, $70,000. Las Vegas records were the least transparent. They sent us all of their spending in 2,500 pages of PDFs instead of a spreadsheet like Henderson and North Las Vegas, where you could, categorize the spending and total it. And so it's just impractical to look through 2,500 pages. It's not really transparency. It keeps the spending opaque. So we don't know what Las Vegas spent their $6.9 million on. However, they were not the least transparent because Clark County still has not given us their records at all.
Well, we know you will definitely follow up and stay on top of it. And we check in with you each and every Friday as we're opening the books with OpenTheBooks.com. Appreciate you, Rachel O'Brien. Have a great St. Patrick's Day, by the way.
You too.